Hello everybody, it's Merlin here, and guess what I just did? I watched the first episode of Dragon Ball Super. I actually found a sub online I wanted to watch, but of course, support the official release when it comes out. Not really a whole lot to say about it. It's decent. It's a decent first episode. I think that it's kind of funny. If I had to really describe it in one way, I would say that even though it might not be like the best episode of Dragon Ball ever made or anything from the most exciting standpoint, I think in terms of technical plot, it's actually probably the best because for a first episode, it actually takes time to establish where the characters are, kind of has some fairly light stakes, but it's pretty enjoyable. It takes place directly after the end of that last series with Majin Buu being defeated. And of course, Hercules, or Mr. Satan's getting all the credit. And basically, we see Gohan's working with his studies, just trying to continue, marrying Videl and preparing for that marriage. And really, from what we can see from everyone else, they're basically just training. The biggest conflict in the episode is that basically, there are two. Basically, Goku is actually working. He's farming, so he's trying to take care of his family, which is good. And he wants to go off training, though, of course. And so it's like, he gives Goten the tractor, and of course, Goten almost goes off the cliff. And it's like, oh no, well, nobody's really concerned, obviously, with these characters being as powerful as they are. But it's still the genuine idea, though. Well, Mr. Satan, being actually a person with, a good conscience, I think, he decides to give the prize that he wins to Goku. And that's how the plot is resolved. He gives him 100 million zeni. And it was just like, well, hey, Goku's like, we have enough money now I can go off to train with King Kai. And that's how the episode ends. And the other subplot was just Goten and Trunks have to... They decide they want to get a gift for Videl because Gohan never gets her anything because he doesn't have enough money to. And they just go off and find these hot springs water and give it to her. And it was actually kind of sweet. So I actually kind of like Goten and Trunks. It probably took a new series for it actually to get me to come around on them, but I like them. I mean, this episode was light. I mean, you could honestly say it actually feels more like an old filler episode in the sense that it's just kind of killing time. But I always kind of thought some of the best Dragon Ball stuff was when you got to see these really powerful, very cosmic, ridiculous comic book characters actually do normal things. You realize they are people. And yeah, it's fun and lighthearted, but I like that stuff, and it's nice. I mean, not every episode of Dragon Ball has to be this big epic thing. I think that Akira Toriyama, even though I honestly think that his best stuff is when the series got more dramatic, I think he has always had a tendency to write comedy. That's where his heart is, so I think that's what he's most comfortable with, and that's fine. I mean, if they wanted to do like a light spin-off where it was just kind of these characters just living their lives and occasionally coming across minor issues, that would be fine. But I think this series is actually going to be a little more intense. The end of the episode shows, of course, the former Kai, Kabuto Kai, just being like, oh, another planet's been destroyed because Beerus is still off destroying planets because, he's such a great guy. No, I don't know. But, so obviously it's probably going to lead to some other villains, and who knows, it might be really good. I mean, I think there's definitely potential for this to be a pretty good show, because I don't want to say that Dragon Ball has ever been badly written, because I do think it's a fairly well-written show, but for the most part, at least by an episode-by-episode basis, it's pretty simplistic. I don't want to say this is like the most complex writing I've ever seen, but it flows very well. It actually feels more like the standards of a traditional anime, and, like, let's put it this way, I feel like had it been like the uncut version, like if it was along the lines of Dragon Ball Kai, it would have been almost automatically action, which isn't bad. But this has a more updated general flow. So I really liked it. I'm looking forward to the next episode. Definitely some good potential. Let me know what you guys thought about it, though. Alright, guys. Merlin out. Peace.